There are two types of footballers. The first group trains every single day, runs till their legs give out, and does every drill they've ever seen on Instagram but barely improves. The second group, they seem to train less but somehow get better faster. What if I told you there's a reason behind that and is backed by data, used by elite players, and could literally double your development in half the time? This isn't a magic trick. It's called the 80-20 rule, and if you understand it properly and actually apply it, it will change everything about how you train, improve, and reach your goals in football. So let's break it down. The 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, is a concept from economics that basically says 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. In football, this means not all training is equal. Some drills, movements, habits, or routines have way more impact than others. Think about it. You might do 50 different things each week: juggling, running laps, ball passes, sit-ups, shooting drills. But out of all of those, only a few are actually making you better. The rest, they're just noise. Elite players, whether they know it or not, are masters of this rule. They spend most of their energy on the 20% of training that moves the needle. That's why they improve faster. That's why they perform better. And that's why you need to learn how to use this too, starting today. If I told you that most goals in football are scored with one touch inside the box, would you believe me? Because it's true. According to a UEFA study on Champions League goals, more than 70% were scored in the penalty area, and a huge chunk were first on finishes. But here's what most young players do. They spend 20 minutes lining up coins and taking 30-yard screamers from outside the box. It's fun, but it's not effective. If you want to score more goals, train for what actually happens in matches. That means sprinting into the box and finishing off a cutback, timing your run for a tap-in, reacting fast to loose balls, practicing headers from 6 yards out, getting clean first touches, working on weak foot volleys. Mbappe, Haaland, Lautaro Martinez, they all master the boring stuff, the repeatable, realistic, match-type finishes that happen again and again. And it's not just about finishing touches. Movement is 80% of the battle. Watch Erling Haaland's goals. He doesn't even touch the ball half the time until it's in the net. His runs are so sharp, so early, and so calculated that the defender doesn't even realize he's gone until it's too late. So here's your edge. Start filming your finishing sessions. Analyze your timing. Are you flat-footed or attacking space? Are you reacting or anticipating? Just 5 seconds earlier movement can make or break your ability to score in a game. If you want to improve your finishing fast, don't just work on your shot. Work on arriving in the right moment. That's the 20% of finishing that most people completely overlook. Let's be real, copying 12-step skill combos from YouTube might look cool, but it won't make you unstoppable on the pitch. The best dribblers in the world rarely use more than 1 or 2 explosive moves to beat the defender. Riyad Mahrez, body feint and touch. Neymar, lure the defender in, drop the shoulder, accelerate. Even Messi, maybe the most unpredictable dribbler ever, mostly relies on simple changes of speed, direction and timing. But here's the part that no one tells you. Most players struggle with dribbling, not because of bad technique, but because of panic under pressure. You get the ball and suddenly your brain freezes. You see 2 defenders, you feel people yelling, you overthink. The solution? Street football. Pickup games, tight space chaos. This is where you build dribbling under real stress. Your body starts reacting instead of thinking. You enter what's called a flow state, where your decisions happen automatically, not consciously. Every pro you admire, Messi, Saint Maximin, Mahrez, they all spend years in unstructured environments, not just doing drills, but learning how to dribble when it matters, under pressure, when the defenders are aggressive, when the space is tiny. That's where instinct is born. So yes, work on your ball control, master 2-3 go-to moves, but spend time in the wild too. Play 2v2s, join futsal, go to pickup nights. That's the 20% that builds real match-winning dribbling confidence. You want to get fitter for football? Great, but what does that even mean? Most players assume fitness equals running more, so they start jogging laps around the park, doing 5Ks on the treadmill, or grinding long cardio sessions. But let me ask you this, when's the last time you jogged for 30 minutes straight in a match? Football is not a marathon, it's a series of explosive sprints, quick changes of direction, short bursts of strength, and recovery between actions. That means your training needs to reflect that. If you're serious about performance, focus on sprint mechanics, acceleration drills, reactive plyometrics, and short recovery intervals. Build your ability to explode, recover, and explode again. That's real match fitness. But here's the kicker. Most young players ignore power training, and that's a huge mistake. Power is equal to the combination of strength and speed. It's what lets you explode off the mark, win duels, outjump defenders, and break away in transition. So while cardio matters, you also need to be in the gym building real leg strength and reactive force. Try exercises like jump squats, resisted sprints, and dip jumps. Build force through your glutes, hamstrings, and core. Make short 10 to 30 meter sprints into your sessions. Not just to get faster, but to improve your energy system for football. That's what elite academies focus on. That's the 20% of fitness that changes how you play. Here's something nobody teaches young players: how to plan your training. Most people wake up, scroll TikTok, find a random duel and go do it. No structure, no purpose, no feedback loop. If you want to apply the 80-20 rule, you need to zoom out and look at your training week like a coach would. Ask yourself, what are your biggest weaknesses right now? What are the most important things to improve for your position? What actions actually happen in most games you play? Then design your week around those things. Create a 4-week plan with focus blocks. Add testing days or filming sessions so you can review progress, track reps, track improvement, be ruthless with what works and cut out with what doesn't. But here's the goal. The best planners are also the best reflectors. Once a week, sit down for 5 minutes and ask, what worked? What didn't? Did I feel sharp or sluggish? Did I improve something specific? This is what pros do. They journal, reflect, and adjust. This isn't extra effort, it's smarter effort. It's 1% daily decisions that compound fast. When you start planning and reflecting like this, your growth stops being random and becomes predictable. There's this toxic mindset in football culture right now that says if you're not training 24/7, you're falling behind. But here's what I've learned from watching top level players, studying coaching courses, and analyzing youth development models from Ajax, Barcelona, and pro academies. The best players aren't the ones who train the most, they're the ones who train the smartest. More effort doesn't equal more results, more clarity does. The 80-20 mindset is about learning to let go of the fluff. You don't need 100 joules, you don't need 5-hour sessions, you don't need to train till you're injured. You need to train with intention and recover with just as much purpose. Train hard, recover hard, cut the waste. That's how you make real progress and avoid burnout. Now you've got the playbook, you know the 80-20 rule, you know how to apply it to finishing, dribbling, fitness, and your whole training plan. But here's the truth, knowing doesn't change you, doing does. So what's the first thing you're going to simplify? What's the one part of your game you're going to double down on? Drop it in the comments, I want to hear what you're working on. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're serious about improving, and check out the free newsletter for weekly exclusive tips and free guides. But most importantly, enjoy the beautiful game.